When old patterns are broken, new worlds emerge. Welcome to another episode of Self-Employed Success Secrets Monday edition. On today's episode, we're talking about why you should seek wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, okay? So, a lot of us have heard the term, knowledge is power, and I made a video about that. Applied knowledge is power, so I'm not going to talk about applying knowledge as much, but I think it's still important to understand these three things. And let's define it, especially if you're self-employed. I'll get into why you should apply wisdom as much as you can when you're self-employed. But right now, let's just define what these mean. Wisdom is applied knowledge. Just simply put, knowledge is just facts, as original facts. Like, for example, if you see in the background, there's a boat. Okay, knowledge is knowing that something floats. If something is lighter than the mass of the water from which it's displacing, then it floats, okay? That is called knowledge. Wisdom is when you say, okay, if we know that we have something lighter than the water on which it stands, the mass of the water that it is displacing, we can build a boat, okay? That's the difference between wisdom and knowledge, okay? And understanding is when it's contextual. Basically, you're decoding your environment. You're saying to yourself, okay, like, for example, let's say you're self-employed, you're at a computer company, or you're a typist, okay? Or you're a stenographer, you build maps. That's what a stenographer is. And you're like, okay, at work I can talk to my coworkers this way, but I'm not gonna talk to my mom this same way. So understanding is contextual. It's seeing something and reacting accordingly. Like, for example, the way you dress at home is different than the way you dress when you're at work, because it's just, you have the understanding of what you have to do to apply certain things. So why is this important, being self-employed? Okay, this is important because this wisdom is going to help you to have a better business and to put things together. Like, for example, here's a piece of knowledge that's helped me, is that to have a successful business, you have to run, you have to go fast, okay? That's knowledge right there. Wisdom is knowing, okay, I've got to apply it. I've got to be fast. I've got to be efficient. And understanding is knowing that, okay, to have a successful business, you have to run, which basically means you have to have stamina. It just denotes that you have to have stamina. You got to have, you got to be efficient. Efficiency is required. It's demanded if you're going to run, go from thing to thing to thing. And you got to be organized, okay? It's just little things like that, knowing that, okay, here's a piece of knowledge. To run a successful business, you have to run. You've got to go fast, okay? And if this content is resonating with you, continue to watch. I appreciate you guys. So how does this relate to being self-employed? Okay. Odds are, if you're self-employed, let's say you wash cars, you have a car washing business. I remember there was a car wash in Atlanta. I would drive by a lot. Let's say you wash cars. And you probably heard the piece of wisdom, a fool and his money, or this is a piece of knowledge, a fool and his money are soon parted, okay? Basically, how can you apply it to real life? How can you make this wisdom, turn that knowledge into wisdom, and then apply understanding? Okay, that's the knowledge, okay? A fool and his money are soon parted. I'm sure you have an interest in keeping a lot of the money that you make. And for example, just a little quick business tip, that's what a margin is, and how much of every dollar you keep. That's just a little quick lesson. Okay, so how does this relate to being self-employed? Okay, so I want to relate this example to basketball. Remember, when you use analogies, you're able to tap into more of your innate intelligence when you use analogies. So hopefully this can help you. Let's say you have let's just think about a basketball team, okay? So I used to play basketball, and when you start a game, there's 5 players that go. It's the center, the 2 forwards, and 2 guards. How does this relate to you? Okay, I think it's good to have 5 pieces of information. It's been proven that in your short-term memory, you can hold between 5 to 9 things in your brain, okay? And so if you hold 5 phrases that are gonna help you move forward, these can help your business because you can apply them throughout the day that help you to whatever. If you need to create energy, if you need to motivate yourself, if you need to just keep yourself on the right track, keep yourself organized, whatever the case might be, these phrases can help you to be the best version to be the most awakened and aware version of yourself. Okay, for example, you can use phrases such as, to run a successful business, you have to run. The five that I'm using right now is that my standard of giving is going to determine my standard of living. Okay, so I'm going to give. Okay, another thing I think about often is that Don't trade what you want most for what you want in the moment, okay? So that's two things I'm thinking. Another one is that sin leads to death, not the flesh leads to death. I have to understand this when I'm living my life, and that focus on making meaning instead of making money, and then focus on doing what's right, hard, and necessary, okay? And just like in basketball, there's a season. I'm not saying use just 5. On a basketball team, there's between 12 to 15 players. I got about probably 10, 11 to 12 quotes that are kind of floating in my head all the time, that which I can apply to my real life to help me get to the next level. Okay, when I'm working and when I focus on meaning instead of money, it makes it a lot better. I'm helping these people. I am helping them to organize themselves. I'm helping them to understand and clarify what's going on with their business, or I'm trying to explain a concept to somebody. Like those are things I think about all the time. Things like if I lie to them, I'm going to lose clients, or that's sin. Or if I focus on just how I feel, that's the flesh, and all those different things. If you focus on just your feelings, you're going to lose in life, because if your feelings control you, you're going to be in a bad spot, because they're random and unpredictable. And I've talked about this before, but it's like you want to have 5 quotes in your phrase that kind of lead the way for how you're going to live your life. This is why wisdom is so important, to think at a higher level, okay? Because when there's levels to employment, there's an employee, and then you become self-employed, and you have a business. And so as you go up, your thinking has to go up, okay? This is why this wisdom is important. It's to apply this knowledge. Remember, knowledge is just facts. Wisdom is applied facts, and understanding is knowing how to decode all that stuff. This is important when you're self-employed, because you're going to have to do a lot of hard stuff. You're going to have to find ways. You have to remember quotes to sell things to people. You're going to have to find ways to motivate yourself. You're going to have to find ways to, have energy, okay? And having a mental starting 5 will help you. So the purpose of this video is to understand the difference between wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and having a mental starting 5 that you can apply in any time you want when different situations come up in your life, okay? If you're reminding yourself, okay, I want to make more money, that's a common thought. You can think to yourself, okay, my standard of living is going to match my standard of giving. How can you give today? Okay, I'm just using the examples that I have used in my life, okay? Instead of focusing on making money, how can I make meaning that's going to make my day a lot easier? When you focus on how many hours you got to work today, if you focus on making meaning instead of making money, and every minute has a purpose to it, has a meaning, it makes your day so much easier. This is what I do when I come into these situations. I'm doing this right now, okay? Knowing that if I do right, hard, and necessary things today, I'm going to have a much easier life in the future, and that motivates me because it's proven, okay? Hopefully these tips helped you. And lastly, as always, successful people that make decisions based on where they want to be, but unsuccessful people make decisions based on their current circumstances. They're just thinking, I'm going to go off of just, my transferences from the past, the old ways of thinking, okay? New level, new thoughts, all right? So thank you so much. I hope you appreciate this video, and tune into my Wednesday video if you found this content helpful. Thank you so much. Bye.